Hello? I don't actually exist. My voice has been modeled to sound like that British guy who narrates nature documentaries. What you're about to watch is an epic story, conceived by a prompt engineer known as Gary Simon. If you'd like to know how he did it, check out the top link here in the YouTube description. Now, on with the story. Once upon a time in the fantastical land of Pixel Peak, two formidable tribes existed. The intuitive UI/UX designers and the crafty front-end developers. For generations, these tribes coexisted harmoniously, working together to create magnificent websites and applications that were both functional and visually captivating. However, their peace was tenuous, held together by a mutual understanding that each tribe had its place in the grand scheme of the digital world. But as time went on, boundaries blurred. The tribes began encroaching on each other's territory, with UI/UX designers insisting on pixel-perfect implementation and front-end developers demanding more input in the design process.
The mobile needs to pop.
The tension between them grew, fueled by the whispered words of the mischievous master of miscommunication. And so it began, the battle that would determine the fate of Pixel Peak and the digital world. A battle so epic that it would be remembered for generations to come. The first strike was launched by the front-end developers. Using their mastery of HTML, they erected a wall of div tags separating the two tribes. But the UI/UX designers, armed with their powerful grid systems, quickly aligned the blocks, dissolving the barrier and forging a clear path to the front-end developers' base. Enraged, the front-end developers retaliated with a barrage of JavaScript code, firing event listeners at the UI/UX designers like arrows. But the designers, skilled in the art of responsive design, fluidly dodged the attacks, returning fire with a series of weaponized wireframes. The developers, distracted by the onslaught, found their fingers ensnared in a web of bootstrap code, the very framework they had once championed. Seeing their comrades in peril, the front-end developers regrouped, employing their most powerful ally, CSS. The developers focused their efforts, setting the z-index of the UI/UX designers to -1, effectively banishing them to the netherworld of the internet. With a haughty laugh, the developers believed they had secured victory. However, the UI/UX designers, trained in the ancient art of usability, refused to accept defeat. Drawing upon their knowledge of user personas and empathy maps, they channeled their collective strength and fought back. Using their keen eye for visual hierarchy, they reduced the opacity of their torment to 0%, allowing them to emerge from the shadows. The front-end developers, shocked by the UI/UX designers' resilience, scrambled to counter their next move. But the designers were relentless, hurling high-fidelity mock-ups like projectiles and flooding the battlefield with a sea of color palettes. The developers, overwhelmed by the beauty and precision of the attack, faltered. Desperate, the front-end developers tried one final gambit. With a surge of energy, they unleashed a torrent of CSS animations, turning the battlefield into a chaotic whirlwind of spinning and scaling elements. But the UI/UX designers, ever adaptable, countered with a barrage of micro-interactions, grounding the chaos and restoring order to the field. As the dust settled, the front-end developers, battered and weary, realized the futility of their efforts. The UI/UX designers, still standing strong, had emerged victorious. It was then that the wise elder of the UI/UX designers approached the defeated front-end developers. Instead of gloating, she offered her hand in peace, reminding them of the harmony they once shared. Now that your mind has been melted into a puddle of AI disbelief, what would you say if I told you that you could make something similar in less than a single day? Well, Gary Simon will show you exactly how. As I said at the beginning of this journey, click on the top link of this absolutely delightful YouTube description. Now, off with you.